Hey everyone, Trackline here on my Guardian Druid. I just posted a few new macros for the new update that work right now. So I thought I'd post a video for you. I have a link down below if you want to copy and paste the macros straight from the web page. Or if you have the Impulse add-on, you can come up here, click Impulse, just choose your modifier and their macros will go straight to your hotbar. Or go to the Actions tab and their macros go straight to your macro tab. I also have a link down below, of course, to all my add-ons I use. Everyone always asks, so all the add-ons, macros, everything's down below in the description. The first macro I tested was a Growl Mouseover macro, which looks like this. /cast bracket target equals Mouseover, harm exists, no dead, Growl. And if you want to switch it out for something else, you can just switch it here, leave that semicolon in between. And how this works is if you just have a single target with no Mouseover at all, it'll always go on your single target. Of course you can have your single target moused over. But you don't have to. But the other way you can use it is, let's say you have a single target but you want to growl someone else, and so you can just mouse over them, keep your current target, pick whoever you want, mouse over them, and taunt them just like that. So yeah, this works really well for like Skull Bash and other what you call it, ranged attacks that you might want to use, or interrupts, CCs, things like that for your Druid. Yeah, like I said before, you can just switch it out here, and you're good to go. Next up is a focus mighty bash macro, which looks like this. /cast bracket target equals focus exists, no dead, mighty bash. And if you, just like the last one, you want to switch out spells here and here, leave that semicolon. So how this macro works is if you have a single target with no mouse over at all, it'll always go off on your single target, just like this. So now he's stunned. But let's say you do have a focus. Let's say this dummy right here is on my focus. On this UI, the focus is right here. So I guess you can't really tell, but this is me switching. It's that right here. So now that I do have a focus, it'll always go off on my focus rather than my single. So I have the same macro set up for my Skull Bash and Entanglement Roots just to show you. So now it's always going to go on my focus like this. Or I can use Entanglement Roots. Go on my focus rather than my single, switch it real quick. I'll go on this focus, or if this is my focus. So it's a really nice macro set up for your CCs, interrupts, other damaging ranging spells, or even melee stuns, stuff like that for your Druid. And also if you have like a single target, it's always going to work. As you can see, it turns white as soon as I get close enough. But as soon as you have a focus target, it's always never going to work on your single. You're going to have to come over your focus if you have one. Mighty bash them. There you go, they're stunned. And then you can use interrupts, your CCs, whatever. Yeah, so it's a really nice macro for those type of things. And also if you want to get your focus on and off people quicker, you can use this macro, which I'll have in the web page. You can just copy and paste this one too. And how this works is you can just simply mouse over people. They'll go on your focus. If you have this person on your focus and you want to make that person your focus, click it once and it'll take them off. Click it a second time over your mouse over and it'll put that person on. So all you have to do basically is double click. It'll put a new person on your focus each time. So this guy's my single. Focus now him. Whoever you want. And of course if you have a single, you don't have to deselect them. Let's say this person's on my focus and my single, which wouldn't be smart, but you don't have to deselect them or nothing. You can simply turn them on, off, wherever you want. So yeah, it's a really versatile macro. You can do a lot of things with it. I would just recommend checking it out and see if you like it. Next up is a Stopcasting macro for Incapacitating Roar, which looks like this. /Stopcasting /cast Incapacitating Roar. And sometimes depending on the update, you might put a couple of lines of Stopcasting in there. I tested all the ones for this one and for Guardian, and they seem fine with just one. At least all the spells I would use. I think most people would use. And it also depends sometimes on your latency, how many Stopcasting you might put in there, but I think most people should be fine with just one. And of course you can switch this out for like Bear Form, Cat Form, any other emergency spells you might want to use to stop your current casting. So if you've never used the Stopcasting for, I'll show you what they're good for. So a lot of times when people are casting something and they want to get something else off, they'll run and then try to do it, or jump, to stop the current casting to do something else, like Incapacitating Roar. So what this will do is automatically stop the casting and do it at the same time, like this. So it's one button, all you do is spam it. So I'll show you with bear form because it might be easier to show because it doesn't have a cooldown. So this is regular bear form, this is stop casting bear form. As you can see, clicking regular bear form, it's going to wait until it's done before it pops the bear form. On the other hand, stop casting bear form is going to automatically stop the cast and do bear form like this. So you can get your cast off a lot quicker. So for instance, when you're strafing, if you want to run someone, instead of going like this, going nice and slow, instead what you can do is you can just cast it, spam your stop casting, and you can get in all your forms a lot quicker and get your, things like Incapacitating Roar off a lot quicker when you do it like that. The last macro I tested was a swipe thrash modifier macro, which looks like this: /cast bracket modifier alt thrash semicolon swipe. And if you never used a modifier before, you can switch out the alt for something like shift or control if that's easier for you. And what you put before the semicolon is what you're modifying. So here's the macro on my S key right here. As you can see, if I just hit it right now, it's going to be my swipe, just like that. But if I hold down alt and hit the same button, it's going to be my thrash, just like that. So it's a really nice way to cut down keybind space, because you wouldn't have to set up so many keybinds. You'd save on a lot of interface space as well. And more importantly, say you're really good with like the S key, A key, keys around those keys, well, you can just set up modifier macros for those keys instead of trying to get good with keys you're not already good at, like on the number keys or on the right side of the keyboard or stuff like that. So yeah, you become a little more efficient with your keybinds by doing that. Alright guys, well that's the last macro I tested today on the Guardian Druid. If you want to see more Guardian Druid macros, just drop a like on the video and I'll know you enjoyed it, and I'll make more for you guys. Have a good one.